Okay, welcome to the news. It's 8 October and it's very late. So first, AMD Big Navi could have a killer feature to battle RTX 3080. Now the big feature is called the Infinity Cache, and what do we know about that? We don't really know much about it. But what we do know is cache is expensive, it's fast, and it's really good. AMD is having an announcement about the new Zen 3, aka Ryzen 5000 CPUs. Prepare your wallet. Next, Guru 3D. Could NVIDIA release an RTX 3080 and 3070 with 20GB and 16GB RAM respectively in December? It seems like it. But for me, I don't really see the point. Like, we already got an RTX 3080 released. Do you really want to release an RTX 3080 20GB edition? Well, it could be that they're targeting more of the market, Maybe you don't quite need a Titan, aka 3090, but you do still need that more VRAM for some professional applications. And maybe you don't have the budget for that, so 16GB of VRAM on a 3070, if it's cheap enough, even I'll buy it. It's a really good price. If you're into gaming, it's not really for gamers. If you want to do 8K, then you better get something better than a 3070 or 3080. Yeah, cool, moving on. I've been working super late recently on my projects, learning, running around everywhere, trying to get money to pay the bills, student loan debt, and also tonight I want the energy left to dissect the AMD announcement and the new lineup and everything like that. Now, the last articles in my videos are usually something I can relate to. I can go a bit off topic on go out on a tangent, so I unofficially call them a bonus section, but I'll give them a proper naming scheme later. And so I'll just do this live, sort of. Cool, here we go. Insights into DDR5 subtimes and latencies. Make this bigger. Big. Today we posted a news up. This article was really interesting. I skimmed through it before, and I'm gonna skim through it again, but it's got some real in-depth information, and even somebody who doesn't really know much about anything about memory, you can learn a few things. So this is for, like, oh, I've built my own computer kind of people. Okay. Jtx Standards. Okay, so this is a good explanation of JTAG. So users who are familiar with JTAG specifications will note that consumer-grade memory is often specified faster than JTAG lists. So, for example, I think JTAG for DDR4 is like 2133 megahertz, but then you've got XMP, which is technically overclocking, and so that'll put it to whatever, 33,000, 3200, 4800, 5000 megahertz transfers. Sometimes megahertz people refer to, but I think the proper technical word is mega transfers, MT, capital M, capital T. But anyway, okay, subtimings. Now these are the things that you would tune, like you buy a kit of memory and you want to make it go a little bit faster, and so yeah, these are the kind of things you tune first, the primary timings, or the sub-primary timings. The CAS, TRCD, TRP, TRAS. Explaining memory will take another hour of video, so I'll just gloss over these. The combination of data rate and cache latency has been used to compare single access latency numbers for memory over the years. Okay, as we can see in this table here. So we got the cache, which is the first one. So sometimes you might see when you buy a memory, it'll be like DDR4 3200 16, 18, 18, 56 or 48 or something like that, or 14, 16, 18, 18. This number's like that. So, two cases. You want this number, if you're buying the best, you want this number to be the lowest, and you want this number to be the highest. And if you're manually overclocking, you will spend a few hours on doing it. You'll find a sweet spot, you know. Maybe let's come down. Okay, DDR4. Maybe your cache latency is, the first one is 22, and if you have memory at 22 and 3200, that's really horrible. A good one would be like 14 and 3200, and yeah, that's not really good, like 15, 3200 kind of thing. But anyway, we're not talking about overclocking really. Now, DDR5. Here is a full list from DDR5 3200 to DDR5 6400. Okay, so it started at is 3200 Jtx? I don't think so. 3200 started 3200. Okay, DDR3 finished at 2133. DDR4 kind of started at 2133. Okay. Not yet finalized. Okay. Latency. Yep. So it had a good latency. DDR3 had the best latency, I think. DDR2 kinda. Wow. Let's just watch the scale up. Interesting. Peak bandwidth gigabytes per second. 32, 46, 51, 41, 50, 44, 48, 51.2. Okay, JD, the 5 specifications. 3200, 22, 22, 22, 25 gigabytes per second. 13, okay. Let's compare that to DDR4 3200. DDR4 3200, 25 gigabytes per second. Cache 22, 1375. Same 22, 1375, 25.6. Okay, pretty much the same. But we can go further beyond. I wonder what the real latency will be. In terms of single access latency, we're ultimately not going to be any faster than we were at the end of DDR3. Okay. Like I said, I think DDR3 was kind of already the best. This means that despite increasing cache latency values in clocks, the actual single access latency is still roughly the same in real world time units. Okay. DDR3 was really good. It's interesting to note that DDR5 specification has provision and the hardware registers for cache latencies from CL22 to CL66. Okay. Binning. So binning, like, I guess the word silicon is used loosely, but when you make a wafer of silicon for a CPU, for CPUs or such, not every part of the wafer is made, well, kind of grown equally. So you might have some really, really good parts. How can we compare this in real life? Okay. Say you have a pizza. You order a pepperoni pizza from Pizza Hut, and your pizza comes. You have 8 slices of pizza. and 6 of the slices have 1 piece of pepperoni, and 2 of the slices have 2 pieces of pepperoni. So those 2 pieces of pepperoni pieces of pizza will be like better. So those are kind of hand-picked. Okay, these will be binned at, let's say, for example, these will work at data rate of 6400 mega transfers. But from the same pizza, you'll get the pepperoni with 1 piece, and you'll try to run it at 6400, but then it just won't because you don't have enough pepperoni. So then they'll sell the module as, okay, it runs fine at 4400, or it'll run fine at 6400, but we put the cache latency up. And so if you want to find a really good piece of memory, you want this number high, this number low. But that also gives you a lot of headroom for overclocking. Say, for example, you have a workload that needs a lot of memory bandwidth. Then you can bump your cache latency up, and then you can also bump your data rate up. And if you want something really low latency, you can push this one down. And you can also push this one down. Yeah. There are, I think, 3 or 4 memory manufacturers, and they each release different kinds of memory modules, and some are really crap. Like, for example, my system. I have some DDR4 3200, what we'll call Samsung C-die, and that is really atrocious to overclock. Runs fine stock, well, 3200 CL16. But, yeah. If anyone's who work a C-die, they know no amount of voltage you put into it will have any effect. What really has an effect on it is temperature, and when you're tuning it, you just got to be happy with what you get. Even, I think I had it at 1.2 volts, and that was doing much better than at 1.35 volts. And yeah. Especially temperature, you gotta watch out for when overclocking, because when the temperature changes, the condition of the memory also changes. So it operating at 48 degrees could be very different to it operating at like 55 degrees overclocked. And then you get lots of memory errors, and you'll crash, and you'll be like, it was working fine an hour ago, and now all of a sudden it's not working anymore. Wow, that's because it's running hotter. And when it runs at a certain temperature, the timings need to be adjusted for that temperature, or you'll crash, or you need to cool it down somehow. Anyway, yep, this article's come to an end, and back to this camera. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening to my rant, not a rant, well, tangent. Tomorrow I will have a video about the AMD Zen 3 release. I might throw in a few boards that support it. I don't think they're going to release another board past B450 X570, not for Zen 3. Cool, that's it. Like, share, subscribe.